Welcome to this video on Taurus rising in love. In this video, we're talking about Taurus rising and what you need when it comes to love and relationship. I'm Cassandra of SaffronSage Astrology, and we're going to just start with your rising sign of Taurus. So Tauruses often are the resources for other people. They definitely tend to have this grounding and stabilizing influence on other people. So we're going to talk about that rising sign and how the interplay between that fifth house, which you have Virgo on your fifth house, and Scorpio on your seventh house. For you guys, I want to start with Scorpio on the seventh, which is, with all of our rising signs, opposites attract. And because Taurus energy is so grounding and stabilizing, guess what you guys attract some of? The scorpionic drama. And that scorpionic drama can show up in a few different ways in your love life. Number one, you could attract partners who have qualities of Scorpio. So they might be very sexually magnetic. They might be very drawn to psychology. They could also be dark or twisted in some way. Scorpio deals with taboo topics. So this could be just something simply like you've had partners who do the kind of work that is a little bit underground, so they could be like OnlyFans, or they could work at a morgue, or, they could do other things. Having scorpionic partners, who knows, you could date a dentist or a doctor or someone who is scorpionic in that way. Or you could date someone who works with the occult and really be drawn to like witches or wizards or people who are doing magic or things like that. You could also, again, Scorpio is a very, very sexual sign. And so this could just be that in partnership, you want your partner to be really sexy, really attractive. And with Scorpio on that seventh house, what you need in a long-term partnership is someone who can go deep with you and really, have that loyalty. Because even though sometimes we think of Scorpio as negative, sometimes there is some negative connotation with Scorpio. Scorpios, people with Scorpio energy need depth. They need to go all the way. And so there really is a strong need for Taurus risings to have partners who will go through hell with you. It doesn't mean you have to put them through hell. Sometimes they might put you through hell to test you. And the thing about having Scorpio on a relationship house, it's almost like you need to go through some difficult challenges in that area and have your back against the wall to see what you are made of. That is part of Scorpio energy, is that it doesn't really come out until it's like forced to almost. There's an energy of that with Scorpio where there's more below the surface that we don't always access. And so it's possible that this can show up in different ways depending on where Mars is in your chart. So let's say Mars is in the 10th house. Well, you might actually attract people who are more, you meet them at work or something. For Taurus rising, your fifth house being Virgo, this is really going to be people with Virgo on their fifth house, and plus having Taurus on your rising really gives you a more practical standpoint toward love and relationships. You may be the kind of person, Taurus, who really just needs to know that you can depend on your partner. With Virgo on that fifth house, it has to make sense to you. Virgo on the fifth can also make you more selective initially about your partners. So people with Virgo on their fifth house, or even Virgo risings, Virgo anything, you have to watch out for this initial being too selective initially, because Virgo is like, I don't like this person because of how they part their hair. And then they might check all the other boxes. But the fifth house is when we're meeting someone, when we're dating them, the original initial interaction, the pleasure, the sex, all the things that come before, I guess, depending on you. But oftentimes will come before the actual long-term commitment is like, do we have banter? Can we flirt with each other? Is there chemistry? And Virgo on that fifth house also means when dating, some Tauruses and Taurus risings might like to have their dating be planned. Okay. Sometimes they want to plan out things, like exactly who you want your partner to be. That might show up because wherever we have Virgo, we have a tendency to hold ourselves back unless it is perfect. Okay. So Taurus and Taurus rising, if you are single and you're watching this, like, how do I find love? Just stop holding yourself back from dating because of the way someone parts their hair. You guys let me know in a comment below if that resonates. And then it's to go deeper with this, it's going to depend, where do you have Mercury in your chart? Okay, so is Mercury on your ascendant? Then you're going to be talking all the time to people you want to date, and that's going to be really natural to you. Is Mercury buried in that 4th house? Is it over in the 8th house or hidden in the 12th house? That's going to make you even more reserved when it comes to making the initial contact with someone in love. And then we can go deeper with that to look at aspects to Mercury, right? So is there something challenging that planet in your chart, making it even harder to approach people? Because oftentimes Virgo, if Virgo is not functioning well in a chart, and that's your 5th house of dating and relationships, it's going to look like perfectionism. It's going to look like I don't look perfect enough to go out on a date today. Or the other way, where they don't look perfect enough to date me. I can't even try. I can't even start. Or feeling like you need a guarantee that every step of the way is going to work before you take any action. So people with Virgo on their 5th house need to work to open that up a little bit and be willing to experience life and in dating. Take that with a grain of salt, because how much that's going to resonate really depends on so many other factors in the chart. But what you need, Taurus, is a partner that makes sense to you. Earth signs need partners who will cook them dinner, or they're going to cook dinner for, or, you're going to deal with more of the mundane, everyday parts of life, and those are your needs. Your home has to make sense. Taurus really wants a stable home. So you're not going to have a partner who's going to want to move all the time, unless you like the idea of living in a Winnebago or something. And then it's probably going to be a really nice one. It'll need to be comfortable and stable. So oftentimes you're going to want partners who have more stability, but then they bring that emotional depth that Scorpio can bring. So if you want to go further on that, click the link below to book with me. You can book my ideal love profile to get a more in-depth video of all the different placements in your chart. So that is what I have for this video. And thank you all so much for all your likes, comments, shares, everything you send my way. I appreciate it so much. And I'll see you all in the next video.